Hello. Today I'm going to show you how to create a graffiti image on this photo. So it looks like it's sitting on the wall with some splatters, some drips, and things like that. And it's not just like an image floating in space, but actually looks like it's in this photo. So I had this little vandal here who is spray painting on the wall, and I have it set up so that I have a nice bright day with the images. A little texture on the wall makes a big difference in helping it sit in that space. First thing I'm going to do is crop the image to 10 by 8 by 300 because I know I want to print an 8 by 10, and 300 would give me a nice printing quality. So I'm going to click on that. I like that he's on the rule of thirds, but I want to give myself a little more space. So I'm going to move him over even more and click the check mark so that he fits in that space, but I can do a lot with this area here. Now I notice it's a little gray. Every photo should have a white to a black so that I get a nice value range. And look, this isn't even on the histogram. I'm moving my white over to the mountain. Climb the mountain, white. And there we go. That might be a touch brighter than I want. And I can move the gamma, fancy name for my gray, and kind of keep that texture on the wall and change things up. Now, other things that I might want to adjust on here is sometimes depending on the camera settings, if you go inside and outside, the skin tone might be a little grayish or something, so I can play with my selective color and change things. I think he's actually okay. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Let's just get rid of that one. I don't need that later, but just to let you know that's something you may want to fix. The other thing I've noticed students tend to have is a lot of times you're wearing dark clothes in front of a bright wall or a bright day, and this is really a good rule of thumb for anything, but I'm going to use my quick selection tool to select some of these dark clothes, because oftentimes I've found that it looks like these dark clothes just kind of become dark blobs in the middle of the scene. So I'm going to move it in, and I know with this picture it's a little bit of an issue with the stuff behind it. I would carefully select it, but I just want to give you the idea of what I want to do. So I'm going to select the dark and light separately so that I can change levels on those. See, again, move this over, and if I go all the way over, he's not wearing acid wash. Let's not get carried away. But I want to move it a little bit so that I can see some folds and dimension in those pants and not have it be dark blobs that indicate his legs. So maybe something like that. Now I'm getting a little bit of a glow, so I'm going to click on my mask here just to feather that edge. Bring it in a little bit, just enough so it softens it and I don't see such a glow. I don't need to get crazy, but just, I'd probably play with that a little more too. But just enough so that it works in the photo. There we go. You get the idea. So now my photo looks a little better. It's cropped to the right size. I have some nice texture on my wall, and I think I'm ready to start working with that image. I decided, since he has a yellow spray paint can, minions might be fun. I found these guys. Now, how did I find those? I went to the interwebs, internet. Now I put in minions right there, because who doesn't love minions? There we go. And I went size large. I must use a large image because if I don't, then that'll be pixelated on there. Ooh, bottoms, bottom. That was a really bad imitation. I'm sorry. There they are. I would click on it. I want to save the larger version, not the little thumbnail. I right click here. I say save image as. My minions there. They're going to save to my desktop. Oh, look, I already did. So I can go like that. I can click on them, and they will open in my Photoshop workspace. So now, one of the reasons I picked this one is because it's got a nice white background, which makes it really easy to select. So I could do a square image or something else, but this way I can go over here, because selections always help me so much. My selections tool, you should always know those. I'm going to pick the magic wand tool, because it's magic. Ready? Woof! Look at that. It's selected all the white. How great. Now sometimes you may find an image like a hand comes around or touches if it's a person, but you have little selections that don't quite get selected when you're doing the background, and you can press and hold shift and get another section to get the background. Or in this instance, I'm going to switch over to my quick selection tool, and I'm going to, oops, I need the plus, not the minus. And I'm going to get rid of these shadows because they don't work for me so much. So I'll come in a little bit. I can just kind of go through those, come in. Come on, little minions. Then I want, because these white shadows would look funny on there. There we go. Now I have all of the background selected, but I don't want the background. I want the minions. Oh, what you do? Well, I go to select, inverse, shazam. Now I only have the minions. It's very easy now to do my Command C or Control C, depending if you're working on a Dell or a Mac. I go back to my Vandal photo. I do Command V to paste. Shazam! There they are. Now they look a little dopey. They're small, they don't really fill the page. I need to make them big. So I'm going to go Command T, or Control T, press and hold my Shift button, and drag a corner. And that keyboard shortcut allows me to make them bigger, move them around. And I don't worry they're pixelated because I just made them bigger. Now I'm gonna hit Command minus so I can see the whole image and see how, oh, that's not what I want. Let's undo that. I hit Control instead of Shift there. I don't want his little hairs to go too high. What if I go down this way? That's better. Now I do want the spray paint can to look as if he's right there. So I'm gonna leave that covered a little bit and I'll show you how to take care of that in a moment. I can hit Enter or click my check and it's done. I'm going to zoom back in again so you can see it a little better. See, look, everyone's like, what? What's going on? I like that they all have that same expression. Cracks me up a little bit. Now, I want to add some paint splatters. I want to make it look like they're on the page a little more. Right now they're floating. It's okay. I'll get there. I'm going to add 2 layers, 1, 2, and I'm going to put my minions, or my graffiti layer, in between those 2 layers so I can add spatters and drips in front or behind if I wanted to. If the layer's on top, it's in front. If it's behind, it's that one right there. So let's just say I want to make some splatters around them. Now, how do I make splatters? I make brushes. So I'm going to go back to the internet and I'm going to type in now black and white splatter brush. Splatter paint, splatter rate, splatter, all those are good. Whatever works for you. Oh, look at this! I got all kinds of great options for you. Or for me, I guess. It doesn't matter if they're large here. Any size is fine. Wow, these are very complex looking. I'm just going to say splatter, see what I get. These are better. I like this guy. He's fun. I like that it's got these edges. These are all good too. I can pick some of these. Ooh, that one's kind of fun. I like that one. I like it. I like it. So I'm going to copy the image, save image as, splatter. There we go. It's a free. I'm going to, oh, it's a PNG. Will this open in my Photoshop? It's not automatically opening in Photoshop. That's less ideal. How about these? Those are great. Perfect. And they're in Photoshop. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a different selection tool, my square marquee tool, and I'm going to select the brush I want, or the drip or spatter I want. And I'm going to go Edit, Define Brush Preset. I made a brand new brush. How about that? And look, there's my brush. Yay! It's very easy. Now I can go back to my Vandal photo. And let's say I want some drips to come down around the blue. So I want to choose a color, and I want it to match. I can't just be like, I don't know, I'll guess. I want it to be a blue, like is in their little jean overalls here. Maybe something a little lighter would match better. Like that one. That was good. That's good. That's good. And then this looks pretty tiny. See if I click it. Let's see, I'm underneath. That's what I want, as if it's behind him. It's there. It's a little tiny. Maybe I'll go a little bigger. And I can use the brackets on the side of the P to make mine a little bigger if I want. I feel like I need to go a little darker too. Let's get a darker color here. Whoa, not that dark. Too dark. Too dark. Let's try that. And I can, let's see, let's go a little bigger here. Let's make some real drips so we can see them. How about that? That's better. Now, I've got a bunch of these. That's why it's nice to have a variety of these brushes to go back to. But look, I already did it. So if I'm in my menu, if I scroll all the way down to the bottom, the brushes that you made will be the last ones on your whole list. So if I go back now to my thing here, ooh, that's what tell me again. Let's go bigger. Bigger. Oh, that's better. Oh, see, I was not so good on these. I could add some black ones maybe. That might be nice to kind of take something from that glove, as if the glove was drippy too. And I can go this way, so it kind of shows. There we go. Some drips. Maybe by the hand I got drips. And this is kind of nice because by shifting it behind, I can make it look differently, like it's different drips there. I also want to keep these vertical because drips would be vertical, you know, but I could do some splatter things here. Ooh, this is a fun one. What if I do that? I'm going to switch these colors here. I want to use that yellow color. And now, Shazam! So I have, is that the right yellow? I don't like that. I'm going to Command Z, get rid of that. And let's pick a color that's in this one. That doesn't look... These don't look minion-y. Give me a minion yellow. Why are they so dark? Am I on something else? Because this is why. I'm not on the correct layer. Then I go, let's go back to my color. They don't look that bright, do they? We'll try that one. Make it look like it's a minion. Now see, these, if I go like 3 of them, they look way too uniform. No good. Control Z, Control Alt Z, get rid of those. Maybe 1. Boom. Done. Now, I might want to go up here, like this, and I can change the angle. Ooh, look at that. I can change the size. Ooh, maybe it's a giant splatter right there. Maybe it's just a little one. I could do with my, I like to actually do my changing with the keyboard controls for size, because I like that I can actually see the tool. And then the splatters tend to look a little different. So let's see. Let's try, oops, up here. I got a bunch. How about this guy? He looks interesting. So we'll go here. What about, maybe we'll pick a slightly different yellow this time, something a little lighter. That didn't go that much lighter. Okay, yeah, that's one I've already picked. How about on this guy? That'll now look the same. And then I can go like that. Oh, this is nice and clear, so I can kind of do things like this. I don't like this. I feel like I should change my angle a little bit, mix it up. Maybe I'll go to slightly larger. That's enough. Alright, so I had that idea. Oh, shoot. I did them on my regular layer. They were supposed to be on a different layer. I'm going to take those all off because I'm going to show you why in a minute. I want them here. Alright, we just do a few now. There we go. Change the size. I don't know why my voice changes sometimes when I change things up, but it does. So we have these. These are fun. I want some of these again. We go. And let's change the size and the angle up a little. We need the big one. There. Not everybody's perfect, you know. Stuff happens. Alright, that's going to have to be good for the moment. So, those are there. I've got these here. I have some splatters. I'd probably play a little more, but I think you get the idea. So, I have now... Let me check my list here. Make sure I've told you everything I want to tell you. So I have splatters, I've made brushes, I've created the new brush, I've transformed and resized, I've thought about making the brushes different sizes. Now, I want to make these like they're actually all on the wall. So I can select this layer, hit shift to select that layer, and I can change my layer mode. These over here are my layer modes. I can do things to make them, oh, look at that. I might even go with that one. That makes them all sit on the wall together. It's important I do all 3 layers so that it don't get too much differing things happening in there. So I just kind of picked one. Doing this, it's a little cumbersome. If I am on this newer version of Photoshop, I can click the move tool. I can press and hold shift and then use plus and minus, and it's going to scroll through the layer modes. Let's see, linear burn, kind of like that guy. My darks all got really dark though. Nope, 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 no, 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 no. Not bad. Some things work better for different images too. No! Oh yeah, what happened? Ah! Okay, there we go. Keep going, keep going. That's my normal. That's not bad. It's a little extra transparent. I kind of like this one better. What do I got there? Multiply. That's nice. Multiply or linear burn, I think, are the ones I like the most. What's multiply again? Which is more convincing? One? 2. I'm going that way. Alright. So now, but this makes it look not convincing, right? So I've used my layer modes. I've adjust my picture. I've done a bunch of stuff. Now I got to make little things happen. I also, if I kind of soften their edges in a few places, it tends to work better. So I am going to take my minions and make them into a mask, which is my little flag guy down here. And now when I do that, I automatically get this box here, which tells me I'm now working on the mask because that's selected, the little lines around it. This tells me, if I go to the brush tool, now instead of using the colors, I'm actually using black and white to take things away. So it's like a magic eraser that I can take some things away, but not all of them. So maybe if I go here, oh, look, it's like he's not perfect. That's a little bit strong. So I'm going to make that a little smaller, and maybe I go ding, like I've missed some spots there. That other brush, some of these dry brush looking things work nice. I think this one will work nice too. I can kind of get those edges. Oh, it's like I forgot that part. Oh, I softened it up a little bit. Oh, see, look at now. You know what, and I think some of these guys, these drip brushes, got a little out of hand. Oh, look at that. My layers changed. Let's undo those. I want black and white there. I am on a brush. Oh, I didn't make that one a mask. Mask. Make it the mask. I have the black. So the black, when you're on a mask, use the brush tool on the mask, will make the colors go away. It's like your not permanent eraser. And then let's see, I want to soften these edges a little bit here too. Oh, wait, what am I doing? I'm on the minion. I gotta go back to the minion. There we go. See, he's a little spray painty. I'm still working on him, you know. But maybe I decide, oh, that's too much. Oh my God, where does his face go? I don't want that. I have to bring it back. So I can do this, and then, woo, look at that. Hello, Mr. Minion. It comes right back. So I have now, I can bring those in. I got this. If I decide things, so white puts it back, black takes it out. I go away. Ah! I go the white, put it back. Okay, now you get it. So the mask allows you to kind of play with things too. Now, I told you I wanted to get rid of this. So I'm going to zoom in, Control or Command C, and then I press and hold my space bar, and the little hand comes up. Hello, hello everybody. I can slide it over, and I'm going to zoom in even more. Control plus, that might be too much now. And let's move that over, and I'm going to pick just a regular brush here, a regular nice circular brush. Let's see, my hardness is 100. I like it around the middle for this part. Oops. Where am I? I don't want to be on the mask anymore. I do want to be the mask, but I want to be on the minion, and I want this to be on black so that it will actually take it. Oh, that's interesting. I don't want a pattern. I want opacity. Is that the brush I got? That's not the brush I want. Let's go back to my regular brushes on top here. There we go. General brush. Whew, that's better. 50%-ish general brush. Oh, so much better. That's a little bit too soft. Maybe we'll clean that edge up a little bit more. And then to get these little guys here, his little fingertips, I'm going to use the, why can't I make it smaller here? Go down. The brackets to the right of my P should help me out. Why is you dinging? And I can go here and take these things out and not have to worry about what's all there. So that this way, press and hold the space bar. Wow, is that really a sharp edge? I don't want it quite so sharp. I want to fuzz it just a little so it doesn't look too unnatural as I'm taking this off. And the reason why I'm doing this in the mask is, oh, that's so easy to do. You knock your hand. Oh, that's awful. Sorry about the dog eating his dinner noises. I don't know why now is a good time for my dog to eat when I'm doing this, but apparently it is. So there we go. I'm going to fix this again. If I were taking time and really going to edit this and not doing it so you can see what to do, I would be more careful, but I can't leave that edge. That's, oh, come on, switch. It's just not good. Alright, so there we go. Let's pretend I did a good job. Sure I did. Yeah. Alright, but now his hand looks like it's in front of it. Even more, adding to my optical illusion. So now I back it up. Look at this. The minions are on the wall. My drips are there. I've blended edges and faded edges, so it's much more believable that my minions are there on the wall. And there we go. Now, if I want to save this, I would save it as a Photoshop document so I could go back and fix things if I wanted to. If I want to post this on like my Insta or share with my friends, then I need to make it a JPEG. So I would first go File, Save As, and save it as my Vandal Minion in Photoshop. I'm going to call him Vandal Minion. Ooh, it should be Minion Vandal. That sounds better, but that's too bad. I'm going to save it, so I have that. I can always go back and edit. I like to have a saved version, nice Photoshop version. But then I got to go over here, somewhere on this side, flatten, Oh, one little image. So now I can adjust what's there, but I can't do nearly as much as I could. But this is universal because it will be a JPEG when I'm done. I click Save As, and then I scroll here to a JPEG. I can't just type the letters. I have to actually change the type, change the format, and then I can save it that way. 8 is great. It's usually pretty big. Good enough. Good for printing about this size. And there we go. Now I have my image. I can print it nicely. I can share it anywhere because it's a JPEG. And me and the Vandal and the minions are happy. Thank you!